Awards. And now, Sholo Ford presents high school basketball on iTalk 1067 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
A very good evening, folks, from Holbrook High School, off the shadows of Route 66 in Holbrook, Arizona. Munoz Gymnasium, Budenholzer Court, as we're set to bring you 3A East action. I'm Aaron Hewish, and Mike's side tonight with me is the man, the myth, the legend, Randall Anselmo, who also came from the shadows of Route 66 and made the trek over here to call a game tonight. We have the home team, the Lady Roadrunners, against the Road Warriors, the Snowflake Lady Lobos, and tonight we have a good one. We're going to start off, folks, with our Ace Hardware keys to the game. And, Randall, we're set for a good one tonight, aren't we?
We are. This should be a very good matchup between these girls.
One thing I want to say, Randall, is here in Munoz Gym, Budenholzer Court, I don't know how we're going to refer to it all night because that's a pretty long name. I think one of our Ace Hardware keys to the game is how is Snowflake going to play in this environment? Because this is the toughest place, in my opinion, in the 3 East to come play. These wooden bleachers, this setting is just absolutely hard to come in and defeat this Lady Roadrunner team.
In Holbrook's hometown and their home court advantage, the crowd is loud, the gym is loud. It'll be interesting, but it does always work in the favor for the Roadrunners.
And then another one of our Ace Hardware keys to the game is Snowflake has got to break the press and got to break the intensity that Greg Perkins' Holbrook Lady Runners are going to put on them. And the Lady Roadrunners are going to have to contain with the inside game. Chloe Oberg inside, as well as the Snowflake sends a fresh 5 in just about as much as they can. And we're going to go now to our Summit Healthcare Injury Report. And our Summit Healthcare Injury Report, as we know, we have one of the Holbrook Lady Roadrunners, I'm not sure which one we were told beforehand, has a wrapped thigh, as I spot her there, but I don't recognize. And the Lady Lobos pretty healthy tonight. Both teams getting ready for hopefully a postseason run. I'm not sure where the Lady Runners sit. The Lobos, I believe, are 6th. And after that big win the other night against the Sholo Cougars. So, folks, we're going to come back in a little bit, and we're going to bring you the starting lineups and some basketball action. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear. Goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you. Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Winning takes focus, preparation, and support. Keep focused on your dream career while saving thousands in tuition costs at Northland Pioneer College. We're here to support your goals and see you succeed. Visit npc.edu to see our programs. An academic advisor will get you on the right path to achieve your educational goals. Northland Pioneer College, expanding minds, transforming lives.
Hey White Mountains, it's Joe G from Horn Auto Center on the Deuce and Sholo. At Horn Auto Center, we're proud to offer the best pricing on all of our new inventory. We won't be beat on price. We'll honor any advertised price on a comparably equipped vehicle on any new Chevy, GMC, or Cadillac. It's that simple. Save time, gas, and money while keeping your tax dollars local when you visit Horn Auto Center. Come see us on the Deuce and Sholo where we won't be beat on price. Horn Auto Center, the Chevy and GMC store that saves you more.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Welcome back to Show Fort's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com. As I am Aaron Hewish, Randall Mike side, RJ, our technical director, Robin on the cameras. I will get the other 2 gentlemen because we need to give a huge shout out to them for what they're doing this evening as we get ready to have the lineups in the background. And we are looking at a 3A East, a traditional 3A East matchup that is always a good game. As Coach Perkins always has his team, Randall, really prepared and ready, no matter what.
Holbrook has kind of struggled in the beginning of the year, but they've really started to come together. They played some hard basketball, and Greg's got these girls pretty well tuned.
I'm always impressed with Greg Perkins' team. You got a clash of 2 coaching titans right here, Greg Perkins and Mike Brogan. Just 2 men who absolutely do a great job and really care about their team and what's going on. And as far as the game tonight, the AIA has sent us 3 of the best to officiate this ball game, and looking forward to just a good, hard-nosed, defensive, and Randall, one thing that it would scare me if I'm the Snowflake Lobos tonight is these Holbrook Roadrunners, these Lady Runners in this gym, they can get hot from 3-point range.
They can. Greg does put on a push, like you mentioned earlier. They put on a push, and they press and they press and they press. But once they start dropping those threes, when they start dropping those threes, they start to turn it on. Once they get it turned on, it's hard to stop the Lady Roadrunners.
Brandon, why don't you go ahead and tell us about our officials this evening that have been sent to us.
So the officials for tonight is umpire 1 is Gishi Arbaso. Umpire 2 is Paul Hancock, and the referee for tonight is Quinn Ashton. They are our officials for tonight. 2 of them are state championship officials. They have done a few state championship games. So we've got a solid crew here tonight to call this game.
And that's going to be a good thing, is because you can never put on their hands. For the Lobos, we have Hancock, Carlisle, Stewart, Reedhead, and Carlisle. And for the runners, we have Nohia Aberley. And I always have a rough time seeing the Roadrunners with any of the girls' teams with the hair down the back of their. And I'm guessing that well, let's see here. That's going to be number 10, Rael Yazi. Number 14, Alana Yazi. Number 42, Nohia Aberley. Holly Casamaro, number 50, as the tip goes off, and it's going to be controlled by the Lobos. Alternating possession will belong to the Roadrunners. There's Hancock over to Reedhead. Reedhead on the far side in the middle of Carlisle. Carlisle now over to the far side. Actually, excuse me, the near side. I'm confused with the table. Hancock shots off. Rebound goes to the runners, and that's going to go for Aberley, and Aberley's going to pick it up. Now we're going to have Yazi bringing it down the court. 0-0 early on in this ball game.
Now, you mentioned earlier during pregame,
as there's Carlisle goes in for the Lobos, no good. Rebound, that is Chloe Reedhead comes in. She's off the mark. Snowflake 0 for 4 early on in this game shooting. As that is not a way to start a game in Holbrook when you have those open opportunities that the Roadrunners are giving you to miss those early on. Munoz Gym, Budenholzer Court here in Holbrook, Arizona. I believe Munoz Gym, Randall's about 40 years old now?
Easily.
And it's one of the older gyms, as there's Hancock dribbling on the near side. Hancock goes down. It's Carlisle. Carlisle shoots it up, and that is going to be a jump ball. Alternating possession is going to belong to the Holbrook Roadrunners, and Randall, the ball just kind of got stuck there.
Got lost between the backboard and the rim.
Now, folks, one thing I got to say is I may say near side and far side, but our camera and us are on opposite side. Our main camera and us are on opposite sides of the gym, so my near side and your near side are going to be 2 different things. So bear with us this evening because my mind can't flip that fast because I'm not very smart. As 0-0 here, just about a minute and a half gone through as there's a long court pass by Yazzie. That's going to be out of bounds, and that is going to go to the Snowflake Lobos. Stewart to inbound. Stewart's going to inbound to Chloe Reedhead. Chloe Reedhead, number 5, the senior. Chloe dribbles at half court, crosses the time stripe. That's over to Stewart. Stewart, the junior, back to Reedhead, the senior. Reedhead dribbles to right, inside 2. That's going to be inside to Carlisle. There's going to be a whistle, and there's going to be a foul, and that's going to fall to the Roadrunners. And that is going to be, I'm not able to see the numbers, so I want to make sure. That's going to be Aberley's first. That's going to be the first team. As we'll like to remind you again, for those of you who haven't followed high school basketball, this year we do not have the 1-and-1. We have 5 team fouls per quarter. First free throws off by Carlisle. As there's inside, that one's going to be good. That one's going to be put up and in by Yazzie as the Roadrunners take an early 2-0 lead on the Snowflake Lobos. And the Snowflake Lobos going to check a fresh 5 in. As there's Stewart on the far side. Stewart into Carlisle. Carlisle dribbles. She puts up a roll jumper. No good. Gets her own rebound. Puts it back up, and that is good. 2-2 tie here. As Randall, I believe that their go-to girl is Aberley from what I've seen and what I've called the last little bit. And Aberley, the senior, has been a fantastic ball player for the Roadrunners for 4 years now. I believe she's been a 3-year starter and a 4-year letterman for Coach Perkins. There's Carlisle in the middle. Carlisle over to Stewart to Reedhead. Now Reedhead dribbles to her left, lays it up and in. 8-foot jumper, no good. Rebound is going to go to Kennedy Stewart with a fresh shot clock. Over to Taylor Hancock. And that's going to fall. That's going to be close to a jump ball. It's going to fall to the ground as Stewart's going to end up with it. Now over to Reedhead. Reedhead inside to Carlisle. As we're getting a whistle and a problem. And, folks, we can't have this unruly fan behavior. As somebody's going to get to go and get an early chirp as the clock's going to stop. We're going to get a... And looks like somebody's getting a little bit of their walking papers, Randall. And we can't have the officials being verbally abused. And I've known Mr. Quinn Ashton a very long time, and he's not going to do something like that without probable cause.
That's correct. We have a line that you just don't cross. And once you start getting into a personal matter, which this looks like this was a personal, direct personal attack on this official. There was no warning. There was no nothing. It was
it had
one
to be
and done.
something. And coming from the officiating end as well as the coaching end as well as the fan, it's a hard path. But nonetheless, we're going to continue with some runner Lobo basketball as Hips is going to now hand it over to Reedhead. Reedhead's going to try to throw it inside to Olberg. Olberg's going to spin. No, Olberg's going to take and pass it, and that's going to be a left-handed jump shot by Raya Denhalter, the sophomore, number 24 for the Snowflake Lobos, now gives them an early lead. Now, folks, Holbrook's got one of these pretty fancy clocks. The green team is the winning team, and that's going to go in for number 21, and that's going to be Guerrero. That's going to be off the mark, rebound Lobos. So if you're up, you're in green. If you're down, you're in red. If it's a tie, it's in yellow, and the clock stop is red. So we got red, yellow, green. We got I think that's Randall, that's a reminiscent of Route 66 right there. As there's Hips going to put up about an 18-foot jumper, no good. Rebound Olberg. Olberg puts it up, no good. And the Lobos are about 2 for 12 right now. As we're going to get another long 3, and that one's going to be shot by Hips, no good. Rebound now to the Runners. Runners only down 2. 4 minutes, almost halfway through this first quarter. Pretty fast action here from Budenholzer Court, Munoz Gymnasium on the campus of Holbrook High School, on the shadows of Route 66, the shadows of the Wigwam Hotel on Main Street in Holbrook. Actually, is that Hopi Drive? Is that Navajo?
That is Hopi Drive.
Hopi Drive, there you go. Inside, that's in 14 to Guerrero. Or no, that's Yazzie, excuse me. That's going to be on the line, and that's going to belong to the Snowflake Lobos. Just under halfway through this first quarter. Randall, thoughts this far? I think the Lobos got to make a shot.
Well, Holbrook is only down by 2. way too early into this game to really decipher, what looks like a travel on that young lady. But we're just way too early into this to see one way or another. But it is competitive for it only being 3.5 minutes into this ball game, and it's only a 6-point ball game. So
ball's going to be inbounded to Guerrero. She's going to be guarded by Nichols. Nichols almost knocked that one away, as Holbrook and Coach Perkins' team love to set these outer screens, as there's going to be a screen right there by number 10. That is Rael Yazi. Now Rael's going to put the ball at the top of the key. Rael goes to her right, 15-foot jumper. No good, off the mark. Rebound. Holbrook's going to let it go out of bounds. The signal. Now, Randall, one thing I want to ask you is open hand is an out of bounds, closed hand is a violation like a foul, correct?
No. There's two differences. There's only violations and fouls.
Okay, violation
is an open hand, and a foul is a closed fist.
And I want to see, because I saw Mr. Ashton do that, and I was making sure that we understood what that was. There goes the ball to the far corner. We cannot see the far corner, folks, so we're going to have to rely on our monitor here, as there's Hips in the middle. Hips has it knocked away by Yazi, as Hips is getting in the back with it, but we have under 10 seconds on the shot clock, as Brogan's going to drive to her left. Ball's into Denhalter. Denhalter, left-hand jumper, no good. Rebound, Brogan. Brogan has it knocked away, and we're going to fall to the floor. We're going to have a jump ball, and that's going to belong to the Snowflake Lobos.
So we were talking about player number 42, Aberly. Aberly is a strong, strong player, and you were talking about her in pregame about having a leg wrap. From what I understand is that she had a hamstring pull earlier in the season, and so they've got it wrapped up so that it gives her a little bit of comfort to be able to play.
Well, that's going to be part of our Summit Healthcare Injury Report by Randall and Selmo. Folks, we'd like to run down our sponsors here during this break. We have Sholo Ford, Ace Hardware, Deemer's Glass, Summit Healthcare, Honda Ski and Outdoor, Northland Pioneer College, Horn Auto Center, and Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. And one of the things we need to mention that we forgot to mention at the jump ball is that was a Northland Pioneer College tip-off. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off at the college with the lowest tuition in the state. That's Northland Pioneer College, with locations in Navajo and Apache County. Nice crowd filtering in for the girls' game. We're going to have a very good crowd for the boys' game, as I read today that they're allowing 900 tickets to be sold to this game, and I think that is about at capacity of what this gym can hold. Is that's going to go on the far side to Carlisle. Carlisle's knocked away. That's going to be a kick, and that's going to stay with the Lobos. Not a fresh shot clock, though, as a kick does not allow for that. A foul would, but not a kick, as we're going to have – oh, no, it is a reset, Randall, when it's a kick. We have a reset on the shot clock. My mistake, folks, as there's Hancock. Hancock gets the ball on the far side. Hancock puts it up. That's going to be no good, because she did not call it off the bank shot. No, I'm kidding. Taylor Hancock with 2. As I'm Aaron Hewish, joined by Randall Anselmo, the Holbrook Sholo White Mountain legend. As I appreciate him coming all this way. If they paid Randall in mileage, he'd get about 14 cents from the distance he traveled to get in here. We're going to have a push, and we're going to have a foul.
You're wrong. It's not 14 cents, sir. It's a penny and a half, actually, to go across the street.
Well, that's good, too. But we're going to have a whistle, and we're going to have a foul, and that's going to be on Chloe Reedhead, first personal. That is the first team, as a pretty clean ball game, as neither of these teams, I've noticed ever since I've known and watched Greg Perkins' teams, they do not foul. And they are very clean in the way they play. They play a very methodical type of fundamental basketball that some people might refer to as boring, but they do win. And fantastic coach, even better person, as there's going to be a miss and a rebound. Rebound, Carlisle. Carlisle over to Hancock. Hancock no good. Rebound, Reedhead. Reedhead now to Hancock, inside to Carlisle. Carlisle puts it up. 9-foot jumper, good. And the Lobos are up a little bit, as the first quarter is going to sit and draw to about a minute and a half left, 8-2. Lobos on top of these Roadrunners. Now, when they played in Snowflake, Snowflake won by almost 30 points, and I think that was a fluke night. It just seemed like everything went right for the Lobos and nothing went right for the Runners that night. Now, Randall, you were, as we want to give some props to, now, last night you were over in Joe City doing the 1A, officiating the 1A play-in bracket. Can you give us a little bit of an idea how the Joe City Wildcats did last night?
They went out. They were very strong last night against the Williams Vikings. The point spread was pretty broad. So I expect to see the Joe City Wildcats go deep into the playoffs this year.
Was that girls or boys?
That was girls.
It was girls. So
yes.
I've heard Joe City has a very strong team, and a lot of ties between Joe City and Holbrook, as well as Joe City and Snowflake. So they're kind of still our cusp of the White Mountains. That's going to be a steal by Carlisle. But these are never gimmies. Carlisle up good, and that's going to put the Lobos up 8 with under 20 seconds left now in the first quarter. As Coach Greg Perkins out there giving instructions to his team. Coach Brogan, a very unusual Coach Brogan reserved on the bench. Ball's over to Yazzie. Yazzie now, that's going to be Williams. Williams is checked in for the runners. And Williams guarded close. Williams is going to give it over now to, and that's going to be the end of the quarter. We're going to take a break, folks. This is Shola Ford's presentation of White Mountain Basketball on iTalk 1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Welcome back to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as the Lobos with the ball down, as that's going to be, and the Lobos are going to get a backcourt violation as Brogan rolled it just a little bit to the side of Hips. Hips fumbled down the backcourt. Now it's going to belong to the Holbrook Roadrunners, down 8. A very, 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 I mean, it almost feels like the gap should be about a 10-8 ball game, but the Snowflake Lobos are up 8 as Denhalter is going to guard Smith. That's going to be Guerrero inside. Out to Smith. Williams to her right. Long three-point shot, and that is going to be good by Dea Guerrero, and that's what the Snowflake Lobos don't need and everything the Holbrook Roadrunners lead, and that cut the lead to half of where it was. And these Roadrunners cannot get hot if the Lobos want to have much of an opportunity to spread this game open. As that's Hips over to Nichols. That's going to be inside to a wide open Oberg. No good. Rebound Oberg. Gets her own rebound, no good. That's going to go as a, it doesn't exist, but an over the back, into the back by Brogan. That ball's going to belong to the Holbrook Roadrunners. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as we had our Northland Pioneer College tip-off. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off the college with the lowest tuition in the state. That's Northland Pioneer College.
Hey, I want to take a step back and talk about the officials real quick. I mentioned that 2 of them were state championship officials. The other official, I absolutely see her up and coming and becoming a state championship official. So I don't want to take any discredit from that official.
Well, doing a state game in the officiating world is a big deal, as that is Nichols on the far side into Denhalter. Denhalter makes a move. She scoops it up. That is going to be good for the Lobos. As one of the things I've always found unique about Munoz Gym, Budenholzer Court here is the teams, everybody now sits on chairs and there's a space between the crowd. Holbrook goes old school, as that is going to be a great move by Guerrero, as she is going to lose it, however, going to go to Hips, and that's going to be a turnover for the Roadrunners. Randall, did the team sit on that bottom bench like old school times?
Yep, they do.
Back like when you played.
Yeah.
As there's Oberg up, and Oberg is for the last 4 shots. Not a good start for her, but I don't see her not letting those fall very much, as Guerrero's going to drive. She's going to put up no good. Rebound is going to go to Brogan, and Brogan is going to have it wrestled. Now it's going to be a jump ball, as Snowflake's going to start checking in a fresh 5 here, as I believe this is the starting 5. Hancock, Reedhead, Carlisle, and Stewart. As referee Quinn Ashton gives the ball to Kennedy Stewart. Kennedy inbound to Chloe Reedhead. Chloe back to Stewart. Still in the backcourt. Now it crosses the time stripe. Ball is to Chloe Reedhead. Chloe Reedhead trying to look inside to Carlisle. Over to Stewart. Now a three-point shot by Hancock. No good. Rebound is by Carlisle. No good. Carlisle gets her own rebound. She puts it up and in, and that falls for 2 points for the Lobos. Holbrook on a little bit of a dry spell since the three-pointer by Guerrero just a bit ago. As now Nohea Aberle is going to have the ball. I'm telling you, if you're in the White Mountains, that is a girl you want on your team. Is this going to be a long court steal by the Lobos? That's going to be to Stewart. Stewart's going to put it up and in for two, and we're going to get a timeout by Coach Greg Perkins. We're going to take it as well, and then we're going to come right back here and break down what we just saw. This is Shola Fort's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
As we're coming back to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com, as Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch rains down as the beats drop here at Holbrook High School. And that's from 1992. That's about the time Mr. Anselmo graduated high school.
1992.
What year did you graduate, Randall?
In 92.
You did graduate in 92, so I was right on that.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know if that song was 92 or 91 or what. There's Aberle over on the far side. That is to Yazzie. Aberle shot no good, rebound Reedhead, and that Holbrook defense is not going to give any of these Lobos an easy look, either getting out of the paint, off a rebound, or anything. That's going to go to Reedhead. Reedhead now over to Stewart. Stewart, that's a 2-point shot. Her foot was on the line. No good. Rebound is going to go to the Roadrunner, except that's going to fall back, and now Carlisle controls it with a fresh shot clock. We're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a foul. Oh, did you? Because whistling a foul. That's going to be on Yazzie, first personal, first team of the quarter. Inbound is now Reedhead. Reedhead over to Stewart. Stewart, 8-foot jumper, left-handed, and that is good. And we're going to have an and one here. And you know, folks, I have Mr. Anselmo, who does football, basketball, baseball, and softball as an official. And I just want to put a plug in. With the shortage of officials, if you're interested or think you might be interested, talk to one of your officials that you know in the area, or go to AIA online and sign up to be a high school official. It costs a little bit of money to register, except I think they waive your first-year registration, and then you got to buy a little bit of your equipment, but I'm telling you, a game fee will take care of that and come out. They'll train you, they'll teach you, and you get to meet some of the most fantastic people on planet Earth to work some of these games with.
Oh, it's you know what, I've been doing this for 30 years, and you can't beat the experience. You know, you get too old to play the game, and this is the closest you can get to it.
As Stewart puts in her free throw, which gives her a 3-point play here. 19-5, Lobos up. We're almost halfway through this second quarter action from Holbrook High School. And that's going to be a great move by Guerrero. Through traffic with the spin, up and in, drops it for two to put the runners through after a 3.5-minute dry spell, as that's going to be off the mark, and that is going to belong to the Roadrunners out of bounds on the Lobos. Roadrunner ball, as there's Greg Perkins. Coach Perkins just telling his girls what they need to do. They're never out of it, folks. Never out of it. As Guerrero's going to bring the ball across the time stripe right at the mid-H of the Holbrook Roadrunners. She's going to go to her left now on the near side. Ball's going to be tipped, and that's going to be a steal on Hancock. Turnover by the runners, as we're going to get a timeout by Coach Brogan. We're going to take one, too. This is Shola Fort's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Shola Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Shola Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Shola Ford has the best deal. Shola Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholaFord.com.
We'll go back to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball as we get a nice shot there of Mr. Hancock, the official. We got myself and Randall in the shot, which isn't a good thing, as we're going to have Hancock Green. And, you know, Randall, we have the Snowflake Lobos and the Holbrook Roadrunners, and they are kind of synonymous as one of those high school rivalries we talk about. And you've been involved with this rivalry, of course, officiating, as well as did you ever play in this rivalry for the Runners, or were you strictly a Cougar back then?
No, I was a Cougar back then, and I will tell you, back in the day when we saw Holbrook on our schedule, we went, oh great, we have to go and play Holbrook, because it was very competitive back in the day. Now it's starting to get back into being very, very competitive with these girls and with the boys.
I think one of the best things for the White Mountain area is Holbrook to have good teams here and there. You know, they went down to the 2A division in football, and I think that was just a fantastic thing for them and their community, because 2 years ago when they went on that undefeated streak and won their region, how great was it to come to the Holbrook game and see those stands packed, hear the band playing, the cheerleaders cheering. It was something that I had never seen in my 20 years on the White Mountains, and people tell me, oh, you should have seen the early 80s or the late 70s. In fact, I was looking through some old yearbooks the other day. I was looking through I believe it was a late 60s yearbook, and it had the Holbrook Snowflake score, and just about as that's going to be a fall to the floor and that's going to be a foul, it's going to be a blocking foul, as Holbrook took a little hands to the face and fell down. But 19-7 here.
Well, going back to that rival, Aaron, after going back to that rival, it is a school rival, but it is not as big as rival as the I-40 rival between Holbrook and Winslow.
I don't think it is either, but can we call it the Route 66 rivalry?
I don't know. I've always known it to be the I-40.
Yeah, I agree with you, but Route 66 came first. And as that's a three-point shot, and that goes, Randall, that was halfway in the rim before, and then Aberley was able to rebound it, as now that goes to Hips. Hips with the ball on the far side. Hips on a fast break. That's going to go to Brogan, three-point shot, no good rebound, Denhalter. Denhalter now to Hips at the top of the key. Hips over to Nichols. Nichols looking inside to Denhalter. Denhalter takes a bounce. As we're going to get a whistle, we're going to get a jump ball, and that's going to belong to the Snowflake Lobos. As, you know, Rhonda, I talked about this with Mr. Jace Hardy a couple weeks ago when we were right here at Holbrook High School. And I actually did some research today on rivalries. And, of course, the oldest rivalry in the state, we've talked about this on the show, we've kind of hammered it to death, is Bisbee-Douglas. That's the oldest. And then after that, as best I could find, guess who the next one is? Well, Round Valley St. John's is the next one. And then after that, guess who the next one after that is?
I'm not sure.
Globe, Miami.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And then after that, take a guess. Ray Hayden.
Ray Hayden. Isn't that where you came from?
We're not going to talk about that tonight on Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. There are some things that are best left in a cold, cold vault. No, folks, I am from the town of Kearney, Arizona, and wave my Bearcat banner proudly every day. Great people down there, great people in the Copper Basin, great people in the Covert Valley, great people in the White Mountains. I love these small-town rivalries, and that I-40 rivalry, Winslow and Holbrook, that one goes, I think that's like the 6th or 7th. That one goes way back, too.
Well, right now what we've got going on the floor is they're trying to get the possession arrow correct. They were pointing one way, which would have been Snowflake's ball, and then they switched it. Now it's pointing towards Holbrook. So now it's going to be a change, and now it's going to be Holbrook's ball on the throw-in on the far end of the court.
As that one gets away a little bit, Aberley ends up with it. And that's going to be a long three-point shot. No good by Guerrero. Rebound is by Kinsey Brogan. Kinsey doing everything she can to get away. And now we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a foul. And Randall, when I see, and I see it in the boys' game too, when I see the girls come down sometimes, you know, they keep their elbows in, which of course helps. But it seems to me when they turn their back and that those hands of the defenders flop around, that's when the foul gets called.
It can be called when they're hitting the arm, which is, you know, they're trying to play the ball, but they end up hitting the arm. But when they also turn and do a 360 spin on them, then they also get them for a hold also, because now they've got their arms wrapped around the player completely.
As there's Aberley going to put up a three-point shot. No good. Rebound Guerrero. No. Guerrero and Nichols, and we're going to get a whistle. And now this one is going to belong to the Snowflake Lobos. We got it right, as they're going to get a fresh shot clock. Now, Randall, If that would have been a Roadrunner possession, the shot clock would have stayed at 26 seconds, not reset, correct?
That's correct. It would not have reset.
But on the kick out of bounds down there, it does reset.
Yes.
Can you explain the difference in what we're talking about and why it resets on one versus the other?
Well, there's numerous explanations of when the clock resets and when it does not reset, and when it's a defensive violation, if you will.
That's going to be a good three-point shot, and such a three-point shot that we had to reset the net. Sorry, Mr. Anselmo, continue.
So when it's a defensive kick, the clock resets.
As there's Aberly going to go, and Aberly's going to get a foul, draw a foul, and she's going to go to the line and shoot a couple.
So with the shot clock, and let me tell you, trying to get the shot clock rules, being the first year when we first got the shot clock.
Which was last year.
Yes. And it become interesting. It become interesting to remember what is a reset and what is not a reset. So I do know that the table does have a cheat sheet at the tables so that we can always go to it just in case we might misapply it, and we go from there. So,
as a rare double miss by Aberly, and they're going to be down a few to Snowflake because Hips is going to get called with the travel. And
well, we're down to our last minute in this ball game. For the first half, excuse me. Let me rephrase that.
As there's Aberly with the long three-pointer, no good. We're under a minute in this half as the clock turns to yellow. That's going to be missed by Aberly. Rebound Nichols. Nichols going to get, looks like it got hit a little bit on the arm. No call. Must have been all ball. As Denhalter's going to save it. No, she's not. She's going to have a whistle and a foot out of bounds. As we're going to get number 10, and that is Rael Yazi checking in for the Holbrook Roadrunners as we're senior night here on Route 66 at Budenholzer Court, Munoz Gym. Can you tell us who the Munoz Gymnasium is named after?
The gym is named after Tony Munoz. I don't know a lot of his history, if he coached here or what, but I do know that he was an official. And I don't know what happened down there at the far end of the court, but it sure
that was a long court steal. Olberg got it and threw it ahead to Denhalter. Denhalter went down, and Denhalter had the ball knocked away, but there was a foul called. As we're going to get a wild finish to this first quarter, as the score is 22-7, and Holbrook's going to have to fight, as that's going to be a 10-second violation, and that's going to give Snowflake the ball. I have some great text, Randall, about these old Snowflake and Holbrook rivalries, as referred to it as the good old days of the rivalries. And I've heard that Holbrook had some athletes back in the day, and not just basketball players. We know they're phenomenal in basketball, but they had some athletes all over the mat, the football court, and from what I understand, baseball. Three-point shot, no good. That's going to go to Olberg. Olberg, 2 seconds, 1 second. Olberg's going to put up no good, and that's going to end the half, 22-7, as Snowflake goes up. As Snowflake goes up at halftime. We're going to take a break and come back and give you our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Show Low. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Winning takes focus, preparation, and support. Keep focused on your dream career while saving thousands in tuition costs at Northland Pioneer College. We're here to support your goals and see you succeed. Visit npc.edu to see our programs. An academic advisor will get you on the right path to achieve your educational goals. Northland Pioneer College, expanding minds, transforming lives.
Hey Hey, White Mountains, it's Joe G from Horn Auto Center on the Deuce and Sholo. At Horn Auto Center, we're proud to offer the best pricing on all of our new inventory. We won't be beat on price. We'll honor any advertised price on a comparably equipped vehicle on any new Chevy, GMC, or Cadillac. It's that simple. Save time, gas, and money while keeping your tax dollars local when you visit Horn Auto Center. Come see us on the Deuce and Sholo, where we won't be beat on price. Horn Auto Center, the Chevy and GMC store that saves you more.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right, not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN. Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right, not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you. Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Winning takes focus, preparation, and support. Keep focused on your dream career while saving thousands in tuition costs at Northland Pioneer College. We're here to support your goals and see you succeed. Visit npc.edu to see our programs. An academic advisor will get you on the right path to achieve your educational goals. Northland Pioneer College, expanding minds, transforming lives.
Hey, White Mountains, it's Joe G from Horn Auto Center on the Deuce and Sholo. At Horn Auto Center, we're proud to offer the best pricing on all of our new inventory. We won't be beat on price. We'll honor any advertised price on a comparably equipped vehicle on any new Chevy, GMC, or Cadillac. It's that simple. Save time, gas, and money while keeping your tax dollars local when you visit Horn Auto Center. Come see us on the Deuce and Sholo, where we won't be beat on price. Horn Auto Center, the Chevy and GMC store that saves you more.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Welcome back to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as we are set for our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show. As our halftime show, and according to my stats, folks, Raya Denhalter for the Lobos is leading all scorers this first half. As we look to start the second half, and the Holbrook Roadrunners will take the alternating possession. As we look for Holbrook to do a little more of the press, and they've been absolutely tenacious on their end of the court when Snowflake gets a rebound or brings in a ball, but they haven't been able to carry it over. Snowflake has missed a lot of opportunities underneath. I believe that Snowflake has, and I'm not having the exact stats check, but I have them at about 9 for 30 shooting this half. And that is never a good situation to be in if you're them, because they're looking to just crisp things up and looking forward to the playoffs. If you're Holbrook, you've got to get easy points. You've got to get every easy point given to you. You've got to take every advantage of everything given to you by these Snowflake Lobos down 22-7. Definitely not insurmountable, but looking forward, the Snowflake Lobos will travel to Blue Ridge tomorrow to play the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets, a game that we will have weather pending here on iTalk1067.com as we look and it looks to me like Snowflake is now ranked 5th, as these Holbrook Roadrunners are going to be 22nd, so they need to do everything they can to claw their way into one of those play-in games, and I would not want to play this squad. If they get hot from three-point shooting, or if they get that press just right, or if they make those easy buckets, it's going to be a hard team to beat, as we're going to have. I don't even think it's a play-in game, folks, anymore. I believe it might even be just a regular bracketed tournament where the first 8 get a bye, which is where the Lobos want to be. As let me look at the version here the bracket is looking forward to. And yes, that is the case. They're not going to reseed after the round. You're going to play in for the seeding. So as we look in the second half, Holbrook has got to stay tenacious on defense, shut down those passing lanes. Snowflake has got to make those easy buckets, as we're going to conclude, and we're going to come back in about a minute and bring you the second half. This is the Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Welcome back to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as we get set to give the second half here, and we're going to start that off with the Northland Pioneer College tip-off. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off at the college with the lowest tuition in the state. That's Northland Pioneer College, with locations in Navajo and Apache County. And we're going to get set to bring the second half as we conclude our discussion here of the rivalry of Snowflake and Holbrook and some of the amazing athletes that have come out of Holbrook. I was informed about Mike Garcia, who wrestled for Holbrook and was just put in the National Hall of Fame. And one of the things that was also noted is that there was a lot of mascot stealing. I'm sure the mascot head or whatnot is these teams, and it says that each of the teams had chants and rivalries. And I would have loved to have seen that crowd rocking in that old Holbrook gymnasium down the road to the east of us here, and how those seats up top and how intimidating it could be. It kind of reminds me of that movie Hoosiers, where they're up top down as Snowflake's going to steal the ball, and they had a little bit of a steal, but 22-7 they're up as Hips is now going to cross the ball in the time sharp. We thank our sources on the info and look forward to hearing anything more we have on this storied rivalry or athletic programs here. As Kinsey Brogan's going to miss a three, and that's going to be a great shot. However, the box out, she wasn't able to go in and follow her shot and get the rebound, and now she's going to be whistled and called with a foul, as that's going to be her second. That's going to be the first team of this half. Yazi with the ball. Yazi crosses over, as that's a give back to other Yazi, Alina Yazi, excuse me. As over now, and that's going to go out of bounds on Yazi. As it's going to belong to the Lobos, up 22-7. And I have a feeling as we start this second half that the Lobos right now, and I'm not saying it's going to continue, the Lobos are kind of playing not to lose. They're not having that tenacious, step on it, killer instinct, as Carlisle's going to put up a three. No good. Rebounds Olberg. Olberg puts it back up, and she rolls it in and gets the Lobos back on the scoring ways, as Holbrook's going to inbound to Yazi. Yazi crosses over midcourt, over on the far side to Aberly. Nohia, three-point shot. That's going to be good. That is going to be a huge chip at the lead, as now the Roadrunners are only down 14 as Hips gets the ball into Brogan. Brogan on the far side, over to Carlisle. Carlisle now drives to her left. She puts it up and in, no good. Rebound, and we're going to get a foul, and we're going to get a block. Now, Randall, what is the rule? Not the rule. What is the general thought when a player drives versus block versus an offensive foul? Is it a count being set, or is it such a split thing as we see it one way as fans, but it's obviously a judgment call?
It is a judgment call, but it also goes way back quite a few years where you had to be set and planted for a few seconds, a second to 2 seconds. You had to be planted in order to take.
And that's a long time when the basketball's coming at you.
Correct. And so, but now that has all changed. It's no longer whether you're set because, well, let me ask you this question.
Absolutely.
If you jump up in the air, can you take a charge while you are off the ground?
I would say yes, because I understand in basketball it's referred to as verticality.
It is verticality. Once you set and establish. Once you have set in legal guarding position, you can go up and take a charge while off the ground.
I remember that from my college days when I thought I was going to be a basketball official. There's Aberly, long three-point shot, no good. Rebound, Olberg to Hips. Hips now in the middle of the court. She crosses the time stripe as the temperature warms up here a little bit in the gym tonight. As might have to stop a little bit. As Carlisle's going to put one up, no good. Rebound is going to belong to the Runners, and that is going to be, I believe that's 23. That is Smith with the rebound as Aberly comes down. Aberly goes to her right, long 8-foot jumper, no good. Rebound, Olberg. And I can't say enough about Chloe Olberg. She had a little bit of trouble scoring early on, but one thing about Chloe is she's definitely always going to be in our line for our Deemer's Glass last minute of the game. There's Brogan with a three-point shot. No good. Rebound hit by Carlisle. Now belongs to the Runners. Rebound is number 10, Yazi, over to Aberly. And now Yazi with it across court. Pass, no good. And that just simply not paying attention. That is a hard spot to be in if you're the Runners, as we're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a substitution here.
So going back to that what is now called the blarge, and they're considering it a block charge is what's going on, but now they've defined it as a blarge. So it's either a block or a charge. But you can also take a charge while you are moving horizontally. So you don't have to be set. You don't have to be planted to take a charge.
Well, I would ask you the question then, what constitutes that? Is that the player with the ball, the offensive player lowering their shoulder?
That is one, yes.
What are some of the other examples would be?
So you can take a charge.
As there's Hips with the long court coast to coast. Hips is going to put it up, and that's going to be good. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Randall.
No, that's okay. So if they're in the key and they want to make a drive to the basket and they're being defended and they drop their shoulder into them and push them out of the way, which then brings up another rule. It brings up displacement. You cannot displace.
Hold that thought, Randall. We're going to get a timeout. We're going to take it here. This is Show LaForge's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Welcome back to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as I am joined tonight, Mike Side, by Randall Anselmo, longtime official of the Arizona Interscholastic Association. And I kind of feel like those NFL games where they say, oh, Chuck, we're going to bring in our rules expert, and they put him in the little box down on the bottom of the screen. But with Randall's mug, we're not going to do that to you folks. We're not going to put him on the bottom of the screen. But Randall's explaining to us about the blards, the block and the charge, and how you can still be moving and take a charge. We talked about lowering your shoulder, and Randall was telling us about the second option.
So you can take if you drive the basket and you displace, which brings up another rule, is displacement. If you displace the defender, that is a foul. And so if they take it in the torso, if they take the charge in the torso, that is also a charge. Now, here's something to keep in mind. If 90% of the time, if there's a charge, there's somebody on the floor. They don't have to fall down to take the charge.
Gotcha.
So they can stay and maintain, be on their feet and still get the foul as a charge.
Great insight there as Reedhead's going to inbound to Olberg. Olberg's going to move it over to Denhalter. Denhalter with a shot, but Denhalter's going to get the steal. And Denhalter now is going to throw it to Nichols. Nichols is going to get it taken away. Ball's going to belong to the runners. That is Francisco. Francisco now crosses the time stripe in the middle of the court, top of the key. Inside to Francisco. Francisco dribbles to her right, her left, puts it up. That's going to be no good. Rebound Lobos. And the Lobos have, I wouldn't doubt, Randall, it's 4-1 Lobos out rebounding these runners tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
As we're going to get another steal, ball's going to be knocked away, and we're going to have us probably a jump ball here on the court. No, runners are going to control it. We're going to get a whistle and a foul on the court, and that's going to be Snowflake's third team foul, so we're going to be in a position to shoot in a couple, and I believe that's going to be on number 3, Kinsey Brogan, and that's going to be her third. If it's on, yes, Kinsey Brogan, that is her third personal, third team. Number 3 with her third personal and giving the third team. I always find those things ironic as ball gives inside. That is to Casamaro, up and in, good. 30-12, Lobos still lead as that one goes to Brogan. Brogan now back to Reedhead. Reedhead three-point shot. That one's going to fall off the mark. The rebound is Francisco of the runners. Francisco up ahead to Yazi. Yazi now throws it across the court to Chi. Three-point shot, no good. Rebound, Lobos. It's kind of like every time there's a miss, the Lobos kind of come up with it, and that's not going to be on Brogan. Brogan was fouled, but she's going to have to be a little bit careful. She's going to get her fourth here early on, and I believe Coach Brogan sees that, and he's going to bring in Carlisle and Hips to sub, and that's going to go Brogan and Denhalter. So the ball handler, Hips, back in the game. This is Chloe Reedhead to inbound. And it's a violation, so there's only about 4 spots you can bring it out on either side of the ball. As both sides of the basket, the 28-foot lines, as long as it goes out of bounds, it's inbounded where it goes out, and that's going to go to Carlisle. Carlisle to Nichols. Nichols over to Oberg. Oberg inside. That's going to be good. Chloe Oberg in our line for our Deemer's Glass. Last man of the game. As 32-12, Lobos up 20. Oberg doing everything they can to claw this lead. Claw into this lead. What did they say, Randall? Chip away at it?
Chip away. Yep.
That's going to be given to Yazi. Yazi up and in. That's going to no good. Rebound Lobos. Carlisle front to Reedhead. That was a great pass as Reedhead now gets a look over to Hips. Hips for 3 points. No good. Rebound is by Carlisle. Carlisle dribbles to her right, middle of the key. 8-foot jumper. Good for the Lobos. As Holbrook now just kind of seemed to be a little bit methodical as Denhalter is going to check in now for the Lobos. Ball inbound to Francisco. Francisco crosses the time stripe. As I'm Aaron Hewish, Mike Side with Randall. We've got Robin on the camera. Robin Justice as well as, and that's going to be a foul, and that's going to be a foul. And that is going to be Holbrook collided with one of the Roadrunners, and they went to the ground. So Holbrook's going to get charged with her foul. That's going to be the fourth team. I believe that's only going to be Holbrook's second. As we're going to take a timeout, folks, while they check out our downed runner. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Welcome back. Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as our runner is up, and our Summit Healthcare injury report says she's good to go. Just a little bit of banging up on the court as there goes Hips. Hips dribbles to coast. Now she dishes to Carlisle. Carlisle, left-hand reverse, no good. Rebound. That's going to be rebounded by Denhalter. Denhalter, I believe, is going to get fouled, and that's going to belong to the Lobos as Hips ended up with it as it was whistled in the foul. And that's going to be Holbrook's fourth team. We're going to get a personal foul called on as Aberley's going to check into the game for the Roadrunners. That's going to be on number 21, Guerrero, and that's going to be her first personal foul as Reedhead's going to inbound. Reedhead over to Hips. Hips now to her right. Hips dribbles to the middle of the lane. She's going to shoot it. No good. Rebound is by Carlisle. Carlisle puts it up and in. That is good. Enough for a lead for the Snowflake Lobos. Just over a minute left here in the third quarter. And sorry, folks, we are courtside here, so there's people walking in, and we're having a little bit of tough time with our monitor on cue, so I'm trying to do my best to give you the action, but we're also getting crossed out on some tangents here, talking about the good old days. As Roadrunners are going to inbound to Aberley. Aberley goes to her left, puts it up, kind of left-handed. Ball is knocked away. Now Reedhead's going to inbound. Reedhead long court pass to Nichols. Nichols, layup, good. 38-12. Lobos on top. And that's going to be number 21. That's Guerrero. She goes and Randall looked like simply she went through and tripped over feet of the defenders on her own as Brogan's going to check into the ballgame. And she just kind of lost the ball out of bounds.
Correct. She was not fouled. She kind of stumbled over the opponent's feet at her own accord. She went to the floor. The ball went out of bounds, going the other way.
Well, one of the things I like to mention is Randall gets the ball there. One of the things I like to mention, too, is you know, what's a strike in softball? What's a strike in baseball? What's the strike zone?
It's about letters to knees.
Nah, no. Guess what it is? That's a three-point shot for the Snowflake Lobos. The strike zone is whatever the umpire calls. And if that wasn't
That's
a foul,
fair.
then that was not if that wasn't called a foul, that wasn't a foul. And I'm going to maintain that for a long time as we had a three-point shot there by the Lobos. Aberley. Oh, my goodness. Aberley not going to be denied on that one. And Aberley's going to go, and we're going to get us a foul and count that basket. And Aberley the chance for line for three-point play. And, you know, she's had a little bit of injury and lost a little step, but she's still playing as hard as it was in the tip-off of this game.
So I understand where you're going with that, and you're absolutely correct.
Aberley good. Aberley with a good free throw there.
So, yes, if you don't hear a whistle by an official or a strike, that's not what it is.
What about a holding? Same thing.
It's the same thing. If the official doesn't call it, it's not a foul. It's not a strike. It's not this. It's not that. Just to kind of go on a rampage here just a little bit.
You mean a rant?
A rant.
Denhalter up and good. That's an in-out pass, and then Denhalter good. Go ahead and finish your thought. We're going to have a foul with no time on the clock, Randall. So we're going to clear the lane. We're going to shoot it. We're going to go ahead and keep it here. Go ahead and finish your thought.
So a lot of we need officials. We are so down on officials. You know, we need them drastically throughout the state. But a lot of people think that officiating is very, very simple, and it's not. It is it's a complicated.
We're going to go ahead and take a break, folks. We're going to come back and we're going to talk. Randall's going to give us a little bit more on officiating. We're going to take a break and give our sponsors some love. This is Shola Porch presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Welcome back to Shola Forge presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. This is the start of fourth quarter, and that is time for a Northland Pioneer College tip-off. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off the college with the lowest tuition in the state. That's Northland Pioneer College with locations in Navajo and Apache County. As there's a miss by the Runners, rebound by the Lobos, which is very reminiscent of this whole second half. As Randall, go ahead and finish your thoughts. We need officials. We need young officials.
We need young officials to come in. But I want people to understand that us officials, no matter how long you've been doing this, it's not difficult, but it can become complicated. Just in a throw-in, Aaron, just in a throw-in situation where the thrower is on the end line, throwing it into the inbounds to their teammates, there's 5 different rules that are applied just on a throw-in. So if you think about what's going out on the court, there is a lot of rules that officials have to kind of run through their brain to make a decision whether it's a foul, whether it's a violation, whether it's a dead ball, whatever the case may be. There's a lot to be put into officiating.
Well, one of the things I want to say about that along those lines is HOLBROOK misses and now the rebound of the Runners is you can't say you've seen it all as an official because you got to do the next game.
That's correct. Once you think, man, I've seen everything, something else pops up.
To get personal, I remember a couple years ago, you and I were doing a game at Valley Sanders on a Wednesday night of all places, and we had a punt, and there was a penalty on the punt. The punt was fielded, and then there was a penalty by the receiving team on the return. And so we had basically 3 things happen, bang, 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 and we're still not sure to this day. We think we got it right, but everybody we talked to seems to have, and that's just there was more to it than that, folks, but everything goes through as the Lobos put it up and in, and the Lobo lead is 30, which means a running clock, correct, Mr. Anselmo?
It is. We have a running clock situation.
Till the last minute. As we're going to get a whistle, we're going to get a timeout, and that's going to be a timeout on Coach Perkins. We're going to go ahead and take it. This is Shola Forge presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Winning takes focus, preparation, and support. Keep focused on your dream career while saving thousands in tuition costs at Northland Pioneer College. We're here to support your goals and see you succeed. Visit npc.edu to see our programs. An academic advisor will get you on the right path to achieve your educational goals. Northland Pioneer College, expanding minds, transforming lives.
Hey, White Mountains, it's Joe G from Horn Auto Center on the Deuce and Sholo. At Horn Auto Center, we're proud to offer the best pricing on all of our new inventory. We won't be beat on price. We'll honor any advertised price on a comparably equipped vehicle on any new Chevy, GMC, or Cadillac. It's that simple. Save time, gas, and money while keeping your tax dollars local when you visit Horn Auto Center. Come see us on the Deuce and Sholo, where we won't be beat on price. Horn Auto Center, the Chevy and GMC store that saves you more.
At Summit Health.
Welcome back, Shola Forge presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. As HOLBROOK just made the basket and put a bucket in, so I thought they should be at 17. And Randall, it doesn't matter is when the clock hits 30, it keeps running. When the ball, it's not like football when it goes below the mercy rule, we keep going. Correct. It keeps going, running. Correct.
In basketball, once you've hit a 30-point differential during the fourth quarter, no matter they can come within 2 points. The clock is still going to continually run until the last minute of the ball game.
And that's Haley Westover driving for the Lobos, gets fouled. She goes to the line. She hits her first one, 46-15, 5 minutes and 32 seconds with the running clock. And this is something I never thought I would see is the Snowflake Lobos had a running clock at home against these runners, but as we're going to get a push on Carlisle, as now they have put the running clock on the runners in their own gym, and that is Oh, also noted, I found out Munoz, who the gym is named after, was a very well-liked assistant principal here at Holbrook High School. One of our listeners we'd like to thank, actually thank the former principal of Snowflake High School, Mr. Larry Titus, for giving us that little tidbit. And Larry, the principal of Snowflake for 23 years, I think 22 years, but maybe 21 years. But he's a proud grad of Holbrook High School, and he's a Roadrunner as well. So thank you to him. Always tuning into our iTalk broadcasts. Appreciate his.
Now, is he still with the schools, or has he retired?
He is not principal. He retired last year, and I got to tell you a little side note as we talk about stats as we're 46s. Mr. Titus was principal for over 33% of the graduates who've ever graduated from Snowflake High School. Wow. And that school's over 100-year history. He saw 33% of the graduates under his stewardship as principal. He is also a proud Roadrunner.
Wow.
And he talks about some of his playing days as Raynell West checks in for Carlisle. As we appreciate his listening, and always good for a stat or two, and all you listeners out there for making these broadcasts possible. Our sponsors wouldn't have anything to sponsor if we didn't have viewership to listen to it. As 46-17, and this game's going to go pretty quick. Don't go anywhere, folks, because the boys' game is slated for 7:30. As there comes West, coast to coast. West puts it up, no good. Rebound. Now this is a rebound to Roadrunners. That is number 21. Well, wait. Excuse me, that is number 23 for the Runners, and I don't have her on my current roster. As Pittman in there, 44. Ball in there to, can't see a number, that's going to go to 44 Pittman for a 2-point bucket. As I saw you visiting earlier, and we've had some couple of the Holbrook softball coaches roll in, and we're getting ready for bat and ball season coming up here. Randall, spring sports started on Monday.
Can't believe it. It's baseball season.
Yeah, you can. The wind was blowing, it was cold, and it was raining today.
Fair enough.
So it's track, it's golf, it's baseball, it's softball in the White Mountains.
Fair enough, yep.
As nice fake by number 20. That is Salaby with a bucket for the Holbrook Roadrunners. As they're chipping away at this Lobo lead, as the Lobos are going to get called with ball out of bounds, and it's going to belong to the Runners. As I have some family connections here to Holbrook High School. My father-in-law actually graduated here, class of 1967. He's a Joe City boy back before they put in the high school in Joe City. He actually went to what they called junior high school at the time, which was actually till their sophomore year, and then he came over here as a Holbrook Roadrunner and graduated from here, and he will have nothing but positive things to say about his time in Holbrook and things that happened here.
Well, I spent my younger years here in Holbrook, and then finished up in the Show Low area.
Well, it is. I've been around the White Mountains almost 20 years now. One of the things I've seen is there is great people in every single one of these communities. Just absolutely fabulous people, and fabulous athletes, and some steeped history in these schools, these colors, these mascots. And not say enough about that. As there's Stewart, as we're going to bring this to you. That is going to be actually 44 for the Runners is Williams. This is going to go into 23, and that is Haley Jones. No good. That's going to be rebounded by Haley Westover. 4-2. 50-21. Lobos up 29. 1 minute, 18 seconds left, and the clock will stop under a minute. As we're going to whistle, and we're going to get a timeout. Coach Greg Perkins, we're going to take it to folks. This is Show Fort's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Care. You'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Welcome back, Show Fort's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com. And folks, as we wrap up the last little bit here, we're going to segue into our Honda Ski and Outdoor post-game show. And the first thing we want to talk about in our Honda Ski and Outdoor is our Horn Auto Center drive of the half. And Randall, my drive of the game is going to be that little run Snowflake went on where they were up 12-2 or 10-2, and they got that lead, and they never looked back. And that's going to be our Horn Auto Center drive of the half.
I agree absolutely 100%. Snowflake has not looked back at this, and they've just been, with the pedal to the floor and doing wonderful things out here on the court.
Absolutely. So that's going to be our Horn Auto Center drive of the half, and that was just about 4 minutes into the game. Snowflake went on that little run and never looked back from there, and has eventually pulled it up to a running clock. Now we got to talk about our Deemer's Glass man of the game. And wow, Randall, I don't know what to say. I have a couple thoughts. Even though she may have not scored a lot of points, just her leadership and being senior night, I think we have to talk about Nohea Aberle. Even though she didn't have her strongest game, she is definitely always in the running for that, just watching her, help this team out. But we got to talk about a couple of the Lobos. Hadley Nichols was tenacious. Chloe Reedhead, great job tonight. But my vote right now is number 30, the post for the Lobos, and that's Chloe Olberg.
I agree. She had a beautiful drive and a shot on basket. So I'm with you 100% on that one as well.
Well, and we also got to talk about Natalie Carlisle. Natalie Carlisle did great. In the second half, Randall, that third quarter, there was very rarely a time that we had the Lobos not getting a rebound. So that's Carlisle and Olberg. But we're going to go ahead, and she actually won it last Friday in Snowflake. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to award Chloe Olberg with our Deemer's Glass woman of the game. Deemer's Glass in Lakeside, 1-888 Glassman. And, folks, as we wrap up with 1.2 seconds left on the clock, we're going to wrap up this game, and we're going to take a break, but don't go anywhere. Switch over to the YouTube broadcast. We're going to bring you the boys' game, and settle in for that one. We're going to talk about how the Snowflake Lobos are going to take on these Roadrunners. The Lobos come into the game tonight, I believe. Let me look and make sure. As we look ahead a little bit, as there comes the 1.2 seconds, we'll have plenty of time to talk about this one we have 10 seconds on the clock, excuse me. As in the boys' rankings, Snowflake is ranked 6th, and these Holbrook Roadrunners are ranked 4th. So, folks, if that tells you what kind of game we're going to have, don't go anywhere. This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. Sholo Ford, Ace Hardware, Deemer's Glass, Summit Healthcare, Honda Ski and Outdoor, Northland Pioneer College, Horn Auto Center, and Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. Switch over, don't go anywhere. 50-23 is our final here from Munoz Gym with Budenholzer Court at Holbrook High School off the shadows of Route 66. We'll see you in a couple. Thank you.
This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 1067 KNKI Pine Top and iTalk1067.com. Brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Comfort Fit Dentures, Summit Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, and Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. This broadcast has been a copyrighted production of iTalk 1067 and Country Mountain Airwaves, a Kopaniki communications station. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of iTalk 1067 or Country Mountain Airwaves is strictly prohibited. For more information on this game and other games around the region, go to italk1067.com.